Now we have the graphs to work with, but the idea is the same. We start with the inside. So the inside says g of 2. When x is 2, what do you get? Well, looking at our functions, g of x is the blue graph. And when x is 2, what answer would you get? Well, this point is 2, 0. So that tells us that when we plug in x equals 2, out would come an output of 0. So now we can say that g of 2 is equal to 0. And now we have f of 0. So now with f of 0, we're saying if we throw in 0 for x into the red function, since the red function is f of x, we have the point 0, 1 on f of x. That means f of 0 would equal 1. So f of g of 2 is equal to 1. In the second one, it says, first of all, you want to find f of negative 1. So that's looking at our red function. If you plug in negative 1 into the red function, we have the point negative 1, 0. And so f of negative 1 will be 0, which when we simplify that means we get g of 0. So now we want to look at our blue graph and say if you plug in 0 for x into our blue graph, what point do you get? Well, here we have the point 0, 4. And so g of 0 is equal to 4. Connection to something from before. You know how when we have f of x, we always say, oh, that's like your y value? So whenever you have function notation, g of 2, that's like saying, find your y value when x is 2. When I have f of 0, it says, find my y value when x is 0. And the f part tells you which function you're going to be using for that. All right, questions for this one are 5, 7, 13, and 15.